Hello again, all you beautiful people out there. I am Mrs. Realistic, and I thank you for joining me today. All right, I got a request for somebody that I've never heard of. How do I pronounce it? Colicchie? And they said to check out Drug Addiction. I believe there's a 1 and 2, or Whom It May Concern. So let's check out Drug Addiction by Colicchie. Forgive me if I'm saying that incorrectly. All right, let's check it out.
Colicchie. You see, everybody got a story to tell. Well, here's mine.
Okay, first of all, I hate pausing before the song even starts, but that melody that they use in the beginning by the Fugees from way back in the day, one of my favorite songs. Very cool that they sampled that. All right, back to the beginning.
Colicchie. You see, everybody got a story to tell. Well, here's mine. My pain's deep, I've been through hell. I managed to survive, so I got a story to tell. Listen, I stand victorious, make the sign of the cross. Look, I'm here to be the voice for every friend I've ever lost. Let me pray as I put together my hands. I've never been ashamed to tell you the person I am. When it comes to doing drugs, I've never been a rookie. But hold up, let me tell you about the places that they took me. I haven't showered, it's been possibly a week, and I'm so deep in a psychosis, impossible to speak. That coke is in my arm, now it's impossible to sleep. My throat's numb, closed shut, so it's impossible to eat. Losing weight's a part of my daily routine. I always use against my will, just praying I was clean. So nod your head if you understand what I mean. When I was growing up, I never thought that I would be a fiend, ever. My life's tumultuous, it's never getting better. Another abscess from my arm is getting severed. My exquisite vision, depiction of dereliction, living conditions, malicious on a mission. All these green tree cops, look, they all know me by my first name. Paramedics had to revive me, this ain't a game. I worn the same clothes for like the last 10 days. And look, I wanna do better, but I don't know a different way. Completely all alone, I'm sitting in this room. I empty out the bags, brown liquid in the spoon. I have to do a lot, can no longer do a little. The water's been added, I place the cotton in the middle. I'm sucking every drop up into this plastic devices. I am tying off, I'm trying to find a decent vein to strike. I shove it ever so gently up underneath my skin as I'm pulling back the plunger to this blood in the syringe. I push it.
Wow, man. You know, a lot of this kind of stuff starts from something simple like a prescription given out by a doctor after a surgery or whatever the case, and they get addicted. And then they usually can't continue the prescription for a very long period of time, so then they turn to something like meth, heroin, shooting coke, and it spirals downward until this person says, I never ever thought that I would be a drug addict, because nobody ever thinks, one day I'm going to be a drug addict. That's what I want to be when I grow up. It always starts somewhere, and it starts with something as simple as some pain medication. I got written a prescription for Vicodin after my liver surgery. After about a week, 2 weeks maybe, I didn't really need it for the pain, but I started to like the way it felt a little too much. And that's right then and there when I stopped, because I knew, I was like, if this goes any further, I'm going to want this every day. And I'm not going to be able to keep getting it from my doctor. So I knew it was going to go down a bad road. And so after about 3 weeks of being on it for pain, it was time to quit.
Gently up underneath my skin as I'm pulling back the plunger to this blood in the syringe. I push it in and try to drift away to heaven, but criminals like me, that's never the place that we're headed. The guilt, shame, remorse, and regret I never address, and I'm a mess from all this pain and this anguish. I'm filled with stress, overdoses, I'm emotionally broken, this ain't a joke. I'm smoking on a Newport, I never have any hope. This is me, I'm feeling like I don't deserve more. I feel disgusted as I'm pushing on this burnt shore. Someone stole the vinegar in the midst of a blackout. Another shooting gallery me another crack house. On the porch, welcome to hell is on the floor mat. I'm glancing at my arms and all I ever see are sore tracks. I'm feeling filthy, dirty needles with the orange caps. Peeking out the window, someone whispers, lock the door latch. We're blasting off, departing from this mothership. I look around as others search the carpet for another hit. Crest whitening strips and Mach 3s. I'm on a suicidal mission till these cops try to stop me. We boosted every day, selling steaks for half price. Any dream I ever had was shattered by glass pipes. Glass rose, devil got me in his lasso. Enter the gates of hell and I didn't even have a passcode. I'm hard-headed, I would never learn my lesson. You know the drill, commit a crime and get arrested. The misery never ends, I spend another week in jail. I don't have friends, family never paid my bill, so I would withdraw and kick on that concrete floor. I feel I've had enough, but my body is screaming more. The food is horrible, but I haven't eaten in days. No reason to call home, cause I got nothing left to say. I'm tired of this jail, I don't ever wanna see prison. Look, I'm tired and exhausted from this life that I am living. I would get a couple days clean and say that I was done, but every time I got released, I was back on the run. It's back to thieving, lying, robbing and ripping and running. These problems, I don't solve them, I'm crippled and sick to my stomach.
Yeah, you know, it's like, it's something that thankfully I've never experienced, but he puts this into words so well. The only time that I've ever seen anything like this is that show Intervention, and you really kind of get to know where and how these things begin. I can't imagine going that far down and then having no friends or family to help. I mean, how do you get out of that trap? It's sheer willpower, I think, and maybe a belief in a higher power.
Lying, robbing and ripping and running. These problems, I don't solve them, I'm crippled and sick to my stomach. I hang with prostitutes and these deadly degenerates. I'm homeless for the moment, but that's really quite irrelevant. The only thing that matters in life is my next high. I gotta be willing to change and give it my best try. I'm a servant and this heroin's my king. I'm feeling like a slave as I dangle from these puppet strings. I'm just a marionette, I'm staring at death as I am carrying regrets that are just tearing through my flesh. We're dealing with a topic we're so careless to neglect. We're dealing with a dilemma leaving every parent stressed. I'm so sick and tired though of being sick and tired, but then it finally happened, motivated by desire. I hit this point, I wanted to change. Enough is enough, my efforts been exhausted and I'm tired of being stuck. My faith is never blind and my future I barely see, but overnight was open-minded, I had this moment of clarity. So it begins and it's essential, I believe, cause if it worked for you then it just has to work for me. Through all this pain there's gotta be a positive message. I talked about the past, now let's talk about the present. I'm no longer living that way, for me it's a blessing, but with one bad decision I am back in that obsession. In '03 was diagnosed with hepatitis C. I utilize the bad, it's always been the fuel for driving me.
Wow, so, you know, like he said, you finally hit that point where you have to want it. You can't make somebody quit something if they don't want to quit. And he finally reached that point where it was like, this is it. I can't keep doing this. That has to be the driving force. You don't ever want to go back to that. It's like all of that hard work, and then if you fall back into it, boom, you're back at square one and you got to go through all that again. And bravo to him for getting through that, because how many people don't ever beat the addiction and end up dead or in prison? You know, there's no good way out unless it's to quit and get clean.
Diagnosed with hepatitis C. I utilize the bad, it's always been the fuel for driving me. And then you ask me why do I give this my all. I'm not trying to see rest in peace on my Facebook wall. I got clean in '05 and started rapping. I started touching lies, I never thought that this would happen. This shit.
See, this is something now that he lives for, right? And he says, I'm here to be the voice for every friend I've ever lost. So now this fuels him to somehow change the future for other people. Be a voice for people who never had a voice. And, you know, I mean, he's lucky that it was only hepatitis C, that it wasn't something like HIV or AIDS. When I had my liver surgery and they found a cyst on the backside of my liver, the first thing my doctor said to me was, how much do you drink? And I said, I don't drink, maybe once or twice a year. And he goes, come on, how much do you drink? And he didn't believe me. And I said, I really don't drink. And so then he switched to, oh, well, I see you have tattoos, you know, maybe it's hepatitis C. And not once did he ask me if I had been on a medication long term, which I had been for 10 years. And I truly believe that's what caused the cyst on my liver was, my liver couldn't handle it anymore. So I'm glad it wasn't hepatitis C. I don't know what it looks like to live with hepatitis C, but I mean, he looks like he's doing well. He looks healthy, and at least he can live with it, and he can go on to hopefully, change things for other people.
In '05 and started rapping. I started touching lives, I never thought that this would happen. The shit today, trust me, it isn't heroin. It's killing everybody in the comments are disparaging. No one cares or gives a fuck that I'm clean. For them another deadly overdose is just something to see. Look, I pay attention to every post that I read as you were sitting there judging in front of your iPhone screen, talking about these dying addicts and how they are worthless, and if they put a needle in their arm then they deserve it. But that's someone's mother, someone's uncle, someone's daughter, and that's someone's aunt, someone's son, and someone's father. As I rap, the shit is giving me chills, and I'm speaking off experience, that's how I know it's real. These ignorant motherfuckers will say it's not a disease, and look, I really don't care, you can believe what you believe. I don't care to argue, I don't gotta give you proof. Listen, I was taught you don't gotta defend the truth. Incurable, progressive, and fatal unless arrested. I'm expressing aggression with every sentiment confession. Once a junkie, always a junkie, you're boring me. The last time I checked, there's one ultimate authority. I'm sick of these remarks and opinions from all these critics, cause if you've never lived it, then trust me, you'll never get it. Be quiet, you're not allowed to speak about it. If you've never lived it, then you're not allowed to speak about it.
Wow. I do get it. I mean, I've never been through something like that, but I do get it. And when you see people out on the streets who are clearly under the influence of something, I always think back to, like, that was somebody's baby once. That's somebody's child, and something happened to them along the way that put them in this awful situation of either being homeless, being addicted to drugs, whatever the case may be, and they're still a human. There's still somebody there's still a soul there. But the problem is what we see is the disease, because when you're on drugs, you're not yourself. And I know people who have been on drugs like that, and it's like you're not even talking to the same person. So that's the unfortunate side of it, is that we only see the addict. We only see that side of their life. And we don't see when they were a happy little 5-year-old learning to ride a bike, or a newborn baby in their mother's arms. Because we all start off as a life that has potential. And unfortunately, some of those people never reach their potential. But there is help out there. And so, if they really wanted it, I don't know. I mean, I know that there's some people who like being on drugs and they like being homeless because they say the government pays them money. So I guess, there's two different sides. There's a scale of people who need help and can't get it, and people who don't want help even though they know they can get it.
You're not allowed to speak about it. If you've never lived it, then you're not allowed to speak about it. How often you forget the only time that you should ever open your mouth is to eat a dick. Everybody is dying, it makes me sick. This isn't an epidemic, this is more like an apocalypse. So when I struggle, it's only right that I fight. And my experience recites on how that diamond saved my life. Look, you don't got a clue what I've been through. When I was at my worst, you couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. I survived a lot, so it's only right that I smile. When I'm aware of my surroundings, I'm no longer in denial. I'm blown away by every message that I get. It gives me motivation, it's the reason I never quit. We gotta do this together, we must trust. There's no you, there's no me, there's just us. I'm doing this with courage, I'm doing this with pride. I'm doing this for every single friend that's ever died. I dedicate this song to anyone that's lost a loved one. So live your life, cause tomorrow may never come. Be grateful for your past, embrace it, don't get embarrassed. Every day there is more children growing up without their parents. I felt pain, look, I'm not afraid to cry. My life changed once I was willing to try. I've been given many chances, now it's truly do or die. I'm doing what it takes so my daughter will never see me high. I'm doing what it takes so my daughter will never see me high. I'm doing what it takes so my daughter will never see me high. I'm doing what it takes so my daughter will never see me high. I'm doing what it takes so my daughter will never see me high.
Wow, that part at the end was beautiful. Because that's the life right there that has potential. And he's doing this for her. That's beautiful. This video is dedicated to Lou, Annabelle, Eric Ebbett, Jeff Durham, Stush, McDonough, and so many more. Addicts are dying now more than ever from the disease of addiction. The next time we pick up, it may be our last. Never lose hope. Life is too short. It's too precious. Amen. Whew. And on that note, everyone, thank you for this suggestion. He's got great rhyming skills and such a heartfelt message. It's important, I think, for people to hear his story and that it can be beat and that he can make his life worth something more than just picking up a needle. And now he has this beautiful daughter and wife, and that's what he'll live for now. Beautiful song. So thank you, Colicchie, for your story. And you're right, never lose hope. There is always help. And for any of you out there still struggling with addiction, there are people who can help you and you can get clean. Life is too short. The older I get, the more I realize that. So thank you for this suggestion, guys, and thank you for joining me. And as I always say, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.